know one of the things that you speak about, you're here as part of a tour speaking to Indigenous peoples in this country.
Correct.
And I know as one of the things you speak about is about building bridges. So I wonder if you can expand a little on what that means to you and how you build bridges.
Building bridges is something that is a necessity in today's age, particularly as we have more encounters with other people. In order to accomplish things that are important in our communities, we need to reach out and work with other peoples as well. And that is beginning that thread of story with each other, as we like to say. To pull on that thread is to begin a relationship. And you start with story, and then that leads towards building a bridge.
I do remember growing up in South Africa, where they had over the Pesach break, they always had this the Rand Easter show, they called it, and it was a massive get together. And so I remember, it was always felt connected, that we could connect with another part of another religious community and faith community in South Africa. So there was always that correlation and that excitement where we were celebrating Pesach and we saw our Christian brothers and sisters celebrating their holiday.
For Christians, Easter is a great festival of freedom, in the sense of we understand that freedom not just to be physical freedom but symbolic freedom, freedom from all that is destructive of life. And the sign that is God's purpose for us is the resurrection of Jesus.
The whole symbolism of Pesach is a message which resonates with people. It was the beginning of the nation's rebirth, if you like, being enslaved for all those years, and now starting on the journey towards getting the Torah, getting the Ten Commandments and so on. And so it represents, I think, opportunity. I think that's resonated ever since that point in time. And also, I think because it has a very strong family value, the Pesach Seder is very family oriented, and so people like when they can get together with family. And so I think even if people are not religious or following to the strict letter of the law, they'll get together and they'll buy a box of nuts.
So Passover celebrates the exodus from Egypt of the Jewish people, when Pharaoh finally said, "Let my people go," and we went. And a lot of Jewish literacy talks about the fact that to go is pointless if you don't have a reason to go and a way to. There must have been a greater reason than just escaping Pharaoh. So some 49 days later, we count off 49 days, and at the end of the 49th night, when that 24-hour cycle finishes, we then have the festival of Shavuot. The 50th day.
Well, Christians really don't know the background to Pentecost. The only thing we know about Pentecost is found in this book, The Acts of the Apostles, where Luke says it was the day of Pentecost when the disciples were gathered. That's all he says. Doesn't give an explanation, just presumes everybody knows, which means most of his people are Jews.
Right.
They know what he's talking about.
Okay.
They know it's the 50th day after the celebration of Passover.
Right.
So part of my job in teaching with Christian groups is to give them the Jewish background so they can appreciate what this festival means. The festival of Shavuot, Pentecost, has such rich meaning.
We live in a very multicultural country with many faiths, and we live in a very globalised world. I come from a place in Indonesia where our national ideology is called Pancasila, and that recognises that there are many faiths in Indonesia, and they do it very organically, this whole idea of social cohesion, unity and tolerance. We have a long history with Indonesians coming to Australia prior to white settlement, but in terms of a modern day nation with having lots of migrants living in this country and finding themselves in a melting pot, it doesn't always, you can't just assume it will naturally gel. So when you have activists on the ground who are doing interfaith work, multiculturalism at the grassroots, that's the idea that we want to facilitate the bridge building and the friendship building at the grassroots, because we are not always waiting for government to create the right policies and frameworks to filter down. And I really truly believe in that human to human connection.